And tonight, Channel 5 News exposes a hole in Homeland Security, a place where anyone can cross the border at any time.
Will Ripley is in Hidalgo County with a Channel 5 News investigation. Will.
This is the border fence. It's supposed to keep drugs and people out of the U.S. We found a place right here in Texas where anyone can cross the river at any time, and they don't even have to get their feet wet.
It's a short drive through the West Texas brush, a port of entry you're not supposed to know about. Anyone can cross into the U.S., no questions asked.
Why is nobody watching this bridge?
That is a good question. I do not know why.
Lieutenant Robert Wilson shows us this footbridge across the Rio Grande. You'll find not one, but two in Hudspeth County. No gates, no cameras, no border patrol.
They were built for flood control, but you can see now they're used by smugglers to cross illegally into the U.S. There is nobody here to stop me from walking over into Mexico.
Lieutenant Wilson says the footbridges are widely used by traffickers. Both are just a few minutes from I-10, known by law enforcement as a smuggling corridor.
There we go. People crossing right now. There they are.
We saw two boys walking across the bridge during our interview. Rafael, a 13-year-old from Mexico, says anybody can cross whenever they want.
¿Quieres vivir en los Estados Unidos o prefieres vivir en Mexico?
No, en los Estados Unidos.
Rafael never worries about getting caught. We saw a Border Patrol agent drive right by. The border fence begins a few miles downriver. It only covers a small part of Hudspeth County's 98 miles of border. The rest is wide open.
The border fence is blocking our view here, but right behind me, right behind here, is Neely's Crossing. You may remember seeing some photos in 2006. Drug smugglers were crossing a load, and the Mexican military was actually helping them out. Now, those photos actually led to some big changes around here. They added more Border Patrol agents, they brought in the National Guard, and they also put up this fence.
We're told the fence has only moved smugglers to other areas, like this one, where the Rio Grande is so shallow, we saw people walking across. Hudspeth County Sheriff Arvin West says it's practically an open invitation for criminals.
There's not going to be any boundaries with that border. The border's not going to mean anything to them.
He worries who might be out there waiting to cross the wide open border.
He's not just worried about the drug cartels. We found evidence that people with ties to Islamic terrorism are crossing this border. Our investigation continues tonight at 10:30. In Hidalgo County, Will Ripley, Channel 5 News at 10.
Tonight, we're uncovering explosive new evidence. Terrorists may be using the border with Mexico to sneak into the United States.
Will Ripley is in Hidalgo County tonight with a Channel 5 News investigation. Will?
Extra Border Patrol on this fence is one of the ways the government is stepping up border security, but thousands of people are still sneaking into the U.S. illegally every year. And we found evidence some of those people have ties to Islamic terrorism, and the border could be a target.
Border violence has Texas law enforcement on alert.
Do people on the border have reason to feel nervous right now?
I think they do have a reason to feel nervous.
It's not just the cartels they're nervous about. Multiple government reports show people from countries that support terrorism have been entering the United States illegally through Mexico. They come from places like Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq, and Pakistan.
It's real. It's still real. It's still happening.
Zapata County Sheriff Sigifredo Gonzalez Jr. worries the cartels are teaming up with terrorists. He's not alone. This congressional report says Middle Easterners, some with ties to Islamic terrorism, are buying fake documents with Hispanic-sounding last names to blend in on the border. The report says Middle Easterners are paying the cartels $50,000 a person to get smuggled into the U.S. The sheriff says for that kind of cash, the cartels will move anything.
You can bring in 1,000 pounds somebody wanted at one time. How simple would it be to bring in a suitcase full of a dirty bomb?
The Stratfor Intelligence Agency in Austin monitors security threats. They think al-Qaeda's goal is to blow up a dirty bomb somewhere in the United States.
It's essentially radioactive material that's packed in with explosives.
This tactical analyst is hiding his identity for security reasons. He says a dirty bomb could easily be smuggled across the border. It spreads radiation over a wide area with devastating consequences.
So there's a very real possibility that a device like that could be detonated along the border.
The Government Accountability Office published several studies some call alarming. Inspectors found big holes in border security. One GAO study found radiation detectors at all of our international bridges have serious performance problems and might not be able to detect a dirty bomb. Undercover inspectors made 42 illegal crossings with a 93% success rate.
I mean, that's overwhelming. You know, we know that we're not even putting a dent into what's coming across.
Another GAO study found people with ties to terrorism were captured along the southwest border as recently as 2008.
We're never going to let our guard down. Never.
It's a constant worry for border officers. Who is out there trying to get in?
Federal law enforcement estimates just 10 to 30% of the people who cross the border illegally actually get caught, which leads many to wonder who and what is getting in. In Hidalgo County, Will Ripley, Channel 5 News at 10:30.
Channel 5 News began investigating this threat in 2006. 4 years ago, we told you about what some people call terrorist clothing found right here in South Texas. Arabic military patches were found near Hebronville. One contained the words martyr and way to eternal life. The other depicts a plane crashing into the Twin Towers. Law enforcement sources told us maps with the locations of nuclear power plants were found in the same area, along with GPS tracking devices, weapons, ammunition, and camouflage.
And Oscar, the government's own numbers show more people from countries other than Mexico are caught right here in the Border Patrol's Rio Grande Valley sector than anywhere else in the United States. The government calls them OTMs. Since 9/11, literally thousands of OTMs have been caught in South Texas from places like Iraq, Iran, Syria, Egypt, and Pakistan.